Welcome to this video to demonstrate the SADPmini2 logging function. My name is Dan and I'm with Alpha Moisture Systems. In order to do the logging with the SADPmini2, you need either the EX version, as I've currently got here, or you need the logging version of the Mini 2. You can find out whether it's the logging version or the basic version by looking at the serial number. If it's SL, then it's the logging version. If it's SN, then it's the basic version. This is shown on the back of the instrument here or on the menu screen. If you have got the basic version, you can always return this to us for upgrading to the logging version. Let's look at the logging feature in more detail on this SADPmini2-Ex. To get to the logging menu, we press the right arrow button. We then press the up arrow and it highlights the quick log. On this menu, we've got data logging and quick log. Let's look at data logging in more detail. If I press OK, we're into the menu. Here you can set a location ID. The default is log-data. I've also entered another one. If I press the right arrow button, we can see there's one for alpha. You can set your own logging IDs on the instrument, either from the user tools on a PC or directly on the instrument. If I press the down arrow, I come to the interval. This is the logging interval of each data point. At the moment it's set as 5 seconds. In total there's 1,000 points that you can have in any one log file. If I press the right arrow button, I can go to 10 seconds, 20, 30, 45 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour, which is the maximum. You'll see that the duration here changes depending on the log interval, which gives you a maximum of 1,000 points. If I then go to start, we can then start the logging from here. We go back to the main menu, press down arrow. The quick log function has default settings of a maximum file size of 240 points taken every 5 seconds, so the log file lasts for 20 minutes. If I press the quick log OK button, it starts logging immediately. And I'll stop this. I've already shown you how to get to the logging screen, which is by pressing the right arrow button. There's also a shortcut feature to get to the logging directly from the main menu. If I start from the main menu, if I press OK, it displays data log and quick log. And you'll see quick log is highlighted at the moment, and I can also go sideways to data log. If I go back to the main screen, if I press the up arrow button, then it displays a live graph of data points. If I press OK, then it brings up another menu, which also can take you directly to data logging, quick log, and snapshot. Let's look at the logging features in slightly more detail about how to take a log. If I press OK, get to the shortcut, and I'm straight to the data logging, quick logging options. If I press OK again, data logging is highlighted. I get into the data logging menu. We've got alpha selected as the location ID. We've got an interval set of 5 seconds. If I press start, then we'll see the logging starts, which is indicated by the large red indicator there. So we're now in logging mode. You'll see that the interval set for 5 seconds. The name of the log file is alpha.000, and you can see the increment here changes as a log is taken every 5 seconds, and we've got up to 1,000 points. Just let that log for just a few seconds, and then if we press OK again, then we get a new menu where you can stop the logging. It also has a printer and the snapshot on the screen as well. If I press OK again, then the file is saved and we've stopped the logging as the indicator's gone. Let's now demonstrate the quick log. If I press OK again, we have a shortcut to the quick log and data log options. If I press right arrow to get to quick log, if I press OK, then the logging starts as indicated there. There's the name of the quick log file. You can see there's a countdown timer for the 20 minutes that the log is going to log over, and again we've got the increment for each logging point. If I press OK to get the menu up, If I press OK again, then it stops the log and it's saved. Let's look at the snapshot option. If we press up arrow to get to the live graph, this is a real-time data being logged on the graph. So this graph here is incrementing updating about every 1 second, and you've got about 5 minutes worth of history on that graph. If I press OK again, I get the 3 options: data logging, quick log and snapshot. If I go to snapshot and I select OK, then it just saves an image of the graph at that time. Let's look at how to access the logged data. If I press the sideways arrow from the home screen, I get to the logging menu. If I press down arrow, I get onto the screen. If I press the down arrow again, I get to data history. If I press OK, then I'm into the logged data files. So if I press OK for the top one, the log data, I can see that I've created 3 logged data files. If I go down to the bottom one, which is the one that we created, we can see there's the data in the file. If I go back again, then I can get to the quick log data files, and there's the last one that we created, which is 0.031. If I press OK, I can see the data file that we created there. I go back again, I can get down to the snapshot data. If I press OK, there's the last file we created, 0.004. If I press OK, there's the file of the screen that we captured at that time. Go back to the main menu. How can we then look at that data in other formats? We can either transfer it to an SD card. If I go down again in this menu and select OK, then if I press OK again, then I can back up to the SD card all of that data. So if I press OK, it's copying that data to the SD card and it's saved. And it defaults back to the screen. I can then remove the SD card, and then using a card reader, I can access those images. There's also an option to get data from the SD card back into the memory of the instrument. So when we see data on the screen here, it means data in the memory of the instrument. If I press down arrow and OK, then we can see there's files on the SD card which we can now restore to the instrument. The other way of getting data to and from the instrument is to use the USB connection directly to a PC. So in the side of the instrument, there's a connection which is also used for charging. If you use the cable to connect into the PC, then you can use the user tools on the PC to communicate directly with the instrument. You can also, if we go back to the logging menu, if we go up to location ID, you can set location IDs in the user tools on the PC and then download them into the instrument, which is slightly easier, because if I create a new location ID, you can see that the alphanumeric method is to press the keys. If I press OK, then I've created a file named 3. And you can either download the data from the instrument to a PC using the user tools. The software for the user tools is held on the SD card, so when you connect the instrument to a PC, it will recognise the connection, and you can then download the data on the SD card, which has the user tools software, install it on your PC, and then you can communicate with the device. You can then download the files that you've created and then print them on your PC. The other way is to use the Bluetooth printer if you've purchased one of these from us. This concludes the data logging video. If you want more information about data logging, please refer to the manual that was provided with the SADPmini2 or Mini2-Ex. There's full information in the manual, which also covers how to set up the logging IDs in more detail. Please contact us direct, by email or by phone. Thank you for watching this video on how to use data logging with the SADPmini2.